Auzbillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today our topic is the significance of the title of the novel Twilight in Dehli by Ahmad Ali. As you people are well aware of this fact as students of literature, that the writers, especially the novelists, the dramatists, the poets, use different symbolical or allegorical devices to make their meaning double edged, rather multifaceted, multidimensional meanings are to be derived out of their writings. The same is the case with this novel as well. Here, Ahmad Ali has taken advantage of the device of symbolism, especially making his title significantly symbolic and allegorical. अजीज़ बेटे, ये नावल का सबसे पहला अहम तनकीदी सवाल है जिस पर आज हम बात करेंगे। ये इम्तहानी नुक्ता नज़र से तैयार किया गया है। नथिंग इररेलेवेंट, नो एलेबोरेशंस, नो extraordinary things, no explanations. Exactly from examination point of view, I have shortened it and kept it in limits. तो बेटे यहाँ कोशिश की गई है कि मटेरियल को मिनिमाइज़ करके आपके जो इम्तहान की ज़रूरत है उसको नज़र में रखते हुए बहरहाल पॉइंट्स मौजूद हैं, उनको आप एक्सपेंड कर सकते हैं इफ़ नीडेड। तो आइए आज इस सवाल को जो है वो ज़रा मुख्तसर अंदाज में डिस्कस करते हैं। Dear students, Ahmad Ali has exploited the title to convey different meanings to the readers. The title of this novel is symbolic, surely, in nature. It is significantly used to convey the decline of a golden era, number one. It indicates the decline, downfall of a golden era of a culture, and surely Muslim culture, especially the culture of Indo-Pak, that is the subcontinent unpartitioned India, and the birth of a new hybrid type of culture that is neither old nor new, standing in between. The title hints at many other things of this transitional period depicted in the mainstream of the story. The title points out the vibrant change as well. This is also important. The second thing, the second symbolic meaning of the title is the change from past to present, change from old to new, which has shaken the whole complexion of life in the subcontinent. Dear students, let's discuss the meaning, first the literal meanings and then the symbolic meanings coming out of this name or title of the novel. The name or title of Ahmad Ali's novel as Twilight in Dehli is very significant. This is the most proper or appropriate name of the story he has told us. Twilight is a word that signifies the short span of time, as you know, that spreads itself between a dying day and emerging night, the arrival of night, just as dawn is the opposite of the term when the night dies down and the day dawns itself. Twilight in Delhi deals with the dying culture and civilization of Muslim India as such. If we take Mir Nihal as a symbol of that culture, the main character, which he really is, we can see the civilization crumbling down with our own eyes. He has passed his middle age and is almost knocking at the door of old age. Mir Nihal is nearing 60s in the beginning of the novel, as he had witnessed the fateful day of the fall of Delhi, 14th September 1857, as a 10-year-old boy. Still, he is so healthy and strong that he can pick up a running snake from the gutter of the house with a swift movement of his hand, and he can break its spinal cord by hitting it on the floor of the house with a powerful jerk of his hand. Just narration to make clear the meaning, that the main character Mir Nihal has been used as a symbol conveying the meaning of the downfall of a culture. He stands as a symbol of a culture that is gone. Gone are the days, the golden days of the Mughal Empire, the golden days of the Muslim domination in the area, in the land. Now, the culture, the civilization, the norms, the values, the ways of living, the ways of thinking are under a drastic change. And Mir Nihal is exactly a very elaborate symbol of all this that is changing and dying down quickly, very, very quickly, rather, and something new is emerging out of this uh, death scene of a culture. This dying down or decline of a culture and emergence of a new culture, a new awakening, that is Twilight, and it is used by the writer as a symbol as well to convey his meaning clearly to the readers. And dear students, as we have already discussed that the title is a symbol of decline and change in the shape of a story. Continuing the description or the elaboration as a person of the main character from the previous section, let's have a look at some other points. You may go through them yourself, but I will pick up some important things out of it. But later on, we find his health going to dogs. He gets a paralysis attack and is unable even to talk. When 3 days later his power of speech is restored to a great extent, but not so the physical or bodily power, Hakim Ajmal Khan, the famous Hakim of Indo-Pak, comes to Mir Nihal's house twice or thrice a week and tries to heal him from his illness. Then a Pahlawan brings pelican oil and massages Mir Nihal. These are the activities which are showing that he is helpless now. A man who was once the head of the crown of his family, a very proud man, a proud owner of a very golden traditions and culture and civilization, has now gone down, bedridden, sick, ill, nearing his death helplessly. This tragedy casts a terrible effect on Mir Nihal and he becomes almost unable now even to remember his past. He is in a state of a living death indeed. The same is the case of the Indian Muslim civilization and culture that faces a living death at this time of transition and change. The English are occupying everything. They are trying to snub the locals with the supremacy of their language, as you know very well. They have abandoned Persian, the official language of the Muslims, and have spread English with their efforts. Especially Lord Macaulay and other people are trying to spread English language throughout the country to create some slave mentality, that is, in words of Iqbal, among the locals, to create servants, clerks, and so on, so to subjugate the locals. Only Hindus, the other major community of the land, the majority community, that is, uh, got affiliated somewhat to the new rulers. The Muslims hated the English from the very core of their hearts because they were hit directly by the English. They had taken away their rule, they had taken away their wealth, they had taken away their culture, they had taken away their ways of living, everything. So the Muslims thought that the English were their enemies, and this is what is conveyed through the character of Mir Nihal. And The new emergence of the culture, new culture, that is the hybrid culture, and Mr. Asghar, his son, stands as a symbol as well. Dear students, the title of the novel has been used as a symbol of deterioration, destruction, along with other meanings to be conveyed to the reader. When Mir Nihal is healthy and joyful in the beginning, he looks after his hubby, the pigeon flying. He also earns more money because now he has also to arrange for his beloved keep. Babanjan, he also looks after the family name and honor because they are Sayyids and Bilqis is a Mughal. When the conditions deteriorate, however, Mir Nihal loses his beloved keep. Mir Nihal leaves his hubby and asks Nazir to sell out all his pigeons. Mir Nihal leaves to work for extra income as well. He leaves to care for family honor and self-respect and also gives his consent to the marriage of Asghar with Bilqis. The world has stopped caring for him. Let him stop caring for the world itself. So we find out that Mir Nihal has been used as a top priority symbol to portray the deterioration of the customs, traditions, ways, norms, and means of which he has been the proud representative of. We can find this deterioration, this destruction in other characters as well, symbolically enough. Begum Nihal becomes blind slowly and steadily. Begum Jamal leaves her classical residence at Mir Nihal's. Shams loses his wife. Hafiji doesn't get pulao on the very first uttering. Asghar stops loving Bilqis and starts to find other women for his love making. This deterioration is at the heart of the decline, the downfall of the whole nation. Mir Nihal has been used as a main representative of this deterioration. His pride is gone, pride in culture, pride in customs, everything is gone. Everything has been shattered. His dreams are gone. Now, all his dreams, as a father, uh, he has got his dreams that his sons will follow suit. His sons will follow the culture he loved, cherished values of the past. But on the contrary, the deterioration in the family system symbolizes the deterioration in the whole of his life. This is the culmination, this is the end for him. Dear students, this deterioration, this destruction extends to both physical and non physical objects presented in the novel. This doesn't happen to the world of human beings alone. This deterioration, that is to say, even the buildings, streets, bazaars are affected by time, the ruin of time, the gutters of the city, which were deep down in the golden era of Mughals, are now dug up and laid on a shallow level. The city walls are demolished, so the stink and sand attack the city dwellers. The Jamia Masjid, whose floor has been colored red by Muslim sacrifices on 14th August 1857 by their blood, wears a cheap garland to welcome the procession of King George V on the coronation day. Even the date palm tree standing in the middle of the courtyard of Mir Nihal's home throws away its leaves and becomes yellow. The symbol that is that autumn has arrived. The spring for this culture, for this land, is gone. Now it is autumn stricken. Everything is withered. All these things have been aptly and appropriately used by the writer to show us symbolically the dwindling and dying Indian Muslim civilization and culture. So we can justly claim that although there could be many other names or titles of the novel, but the most appropriate and the best title for the same could only be Twilight in Dehli. Dear students, as far as the final word of this question is concerned, let's conclude it. As twilight stands for the culmination of a glorious day and the arrival of a dark night, the novel itself presents the decline of a glorious past, the decline of the native culture and civilization, the decline of the cherished values of life, and the emergence of a dark night of colonialism, humiliation, and suppression. The joys of the past are dead, and the sorrows of the present are there to torture the soul. There is a clash of cultures, one local and the other foreign. As twilight shows seeds of change, the youth of the local people have adopted the ways of the colonizers. Hence, a new hybrid culture is born that is unacceptably agonizing for the older generation, giving way to the generation gap. Change brings destruction of everything, and a new world is born out of chaos. Thus, the title is justified in all its literal and symbolic meanings. Twilight also stands for the peak of something, after which the downfall is sure to follow. It also stands for obscurity and ambiguity. When nothing is clear, everything is in the uh, doldrums, in the ambiguity, under the covers. The situation presented in the novel is also obscure and ambiguous for the main characters and even for the future of this land, that is, the undivided subcontinent. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating in this discussion. Inshallah, we will discuss some other important critical questions in our upcoming sessions. Till then, Allah Hafiz.